This episode is sponsored by City Traders Imperium. CTI is a prop trading firm looking for profitable Forex traders who need more capital. CTI will back its traders up to $2 million, which is the most in the industry, and thousands of traders worldwide are trading their capital remotely from their own home. It's the most flexible funding provider in the industry, where any strategy is welcome and overnight or weekend positions are allowed. Plus, CTI doubles your account every time you hit 10% net gain, which you can scale up to $2 million. Click the link in the description to find out why City Trader offer the best funded trader program in the industry, or visit citytradersimperium.com. All right, folks, here we are on the Trading Nut YouTube channel. We've got Camille and Jerome there over at Radical Forex. Welcome to the channel, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Guys, so we've got Jerome there on the left. We've got Camille on the right, so just so you know who's who. So they're just about to walk us through a scalp trade and a swing trade, so you can see the difference in how these guys both approach the markets from these two trading styles. So guys, something fantastic coming up. Let's jump into the price chart now, guys, and check it out.
So this was a trade that I took a while back recently, and this is on JPY. So, like I mentioned in the podcast, a lot of my trades, they first start out as swing or intraday trades, and then after that, I'll look for additional positions to add on to that, and that's where scalping comes in. So, basically what we have over here, or this trade that I took, was that if we look onto the 4 hour time frame, all right, JPY was kind of in a wedge formation over here, all right, and basically, these levels that I have over here, there are so many lines because a lot of them are basically my scalping levels, so the 30-minute key levels per se. So once we go down to the 30 minutes, okay, basically what happened over here, all right, was that, okay, so price was kind of consolidating over here in this rectangle box that we had. And one thing that I mentioned to a lot of my students is that when I take a trade, okay, I always like to see how the volume plays out, or I like to get some information from the volumes in the candlestick, in each individual candlesticks on the lower time frame. So the reason why I took this trade was because if we can see on the 4 hour, like I said, we were in a wedge formation, all right, and we kind of hit a double top over here. Double top over here. And so when I was noticing price consolidating in the 30-minute time frame in this rectangular box over here, what I saw on this resistance, all right, was that when price came to test this resistance over here, so when price came to test this resistance over here, correct, when it rejected this, all right, the rejection here as compared to the rejection over here was very, very different, or even the rejection over here. So we came to test this resistance about three to 4 times over here, and you can see each rejection of this resistance is very different, and it gives me a lot of different information. So breaking it down, all right, just comparing this rejection over here and this rejection over here. If you can see over here, when price came up to this resistance, what it told me, right, when it rejected this resistance, right, was that the volume or the rejection wasn't as violent or wasn't as volatile as this rejection over here, because you can see that basically when price came up to retest this resistance over here and it rejected this resistance, it made this price action over here. However, when price came up to reject this resistance over here, correct, it was basically more violent. And therefore, when I noticed this over here, all right, and I noticed this rejection, and basically we have the support over here, correct, in this consolidation. I told myself that, okay, if price, okay, and considering this was in a volume state, correct, because it's 7 o'clock in now Singapore time, so it's about, it's New York. We're just getting into New York, and then after that, overall we have the stock exchange and stuff, New York Stock Exchange and stuff like that. So basically, when price was able to break out of this consolidation over here with this very violent rejection over here, and was able to close below this support that we had, okay, I entered a trade with my stop loss. My initial stop loss was basically at the top of the consolidation, but yeah, eventually as the trade played out, then after that, obviously I threw up my stop and stuff like that. But basically when price was able to close below this support, all right, with very strong bearish confirmation, I entered a trade. All right, my take profit level was based off the 4-hour time frame. So if you can see over here, the 4-hour time frame, my ultimate take profit was the level of 135.84 because basically we created a support over here as we trended bullish. And now that we've broken this bullish structure over here, that's why I took a shot. And the thing about GJ that a lot of traders have to understand is it's a very volatile pair because you have your Brexit and stuff like that ongoing, a lot of fundamental impacts. And GJ does not have the tendency to retest key levels, or you don't have your classic break of a structure and retest. And so GJ is a very good pair to scalp on. And that's why I took my entry the moment price was able to close below this support that we have over here. So like I said, the ultimate take profit was based on the 4-hour at 135.84. And going into a scalping perspective, how I basically added on positions to my trade would be that I would find minor support and resistance created on a 30-minute time frame. And after that, I would manage my trade or add on positions based on that. So basically, you can see over here, I basically took a shot of almost this whole move over here. And where I got into my first, I entered it as an intraday swing trade. And where I got my first position as a scalp was basically right over here. So if you can see over here, all right, as price made an impulsive move down, all right, it kind of consolidated and formed both a minor resistance and support on the 30 minutes. So if we draw this, oops. So if we draw our minor support and resistance, basically what we have over here is that we've basically formed a minor resistance over here, and we formed a minor support over here. And basically price for the next few I would say this would be about 3 hours, price was kind of in this minor resistance and support. So basically it could consolidate on, and eventually it will either break to the upside or the downside. If it breaks to the upside, then probably we'll be going for either a deeper retracement, or either that this whole move would be a fake out of this rectangle consolidation. So this is the key area as to where I would enter my positions, or more importantly, manage my trades. So the moment I saw that a 30-minute candle was able to break and close below the minor support that we formed on the 30 minutes, correct, I entered another scalp, all right, with the entry at the close of the 30-minute candle. My stop loss would be above the minor resistance. So because we have some weak rejections over here, I'll place my stop loss over here. And then obviously my ultimate take profit for my scalps, all right, I follow, like for example, weak stone line, we take 10 pips, then I have to close partials, and my partials will run all the way down to the ultimate take profit of my original swing trade, which was 135.884 if I remember correctly. So this was basically the first scalp that I entered, right? And then the second scalp that I entered, remember entering on this trade was before after the volume session, which is basically over here. And I think we can see this clearer on the 15-minute time frame, because basically I use the 15-minute and 30-minute time frame to execute my trades. So the same thing over here, we can see that basically what price did was that it formed kind of a minor support and resistance. So the first resistance that we have over here would be like this. And then after that, the support that we have will be over here. So same thing likewise with the previous trade. The moment price was able to close below the minor support, correct, I would enter another position over there. So stop loss would be above the minor resistance on a 30-minute time frame, and then my ultimate take profit after 10 pips, I would secure some positions, and then after that, I'll leave my partials to run all the way to the ultimate take profit of the original swing trade, which was 135.884. And yeah, basically after that, I went to sleep. So like I said, I don't trade the Asian session. So this happened at about 8-9 a.m. Our Singapore time. So I wasn't awake for this. And then after that, basically it ran all the way and then just hit take profit of 135.84. So yeah, this was a very, very good trade. And this is an example of how I initially go into swing trades, and then after that I will use the scalping aspect to stack on positions or basically to trade management. So for example, like I said earlier, if had price over here, correct, if let's say it did not play out the way it did, so this would be a little bit about trade management of how I do it. So so what happened over here, like I mentioned earlier, was that price was able to break below the minor support. All right, and then basically that's where I entered the trade. But if let's say price had broken above the minor resistance instead, okay, what I would be consider, I definitely would not enter another position, because that will go against that breaking above the minor resistance will indicate either a deeper retracement or a complete reversal as how price would play out. So this would be if, let's say, for example, price breaks above this minor resistance over here, I definitely would not be entering my trade. But what I'll be looking for would be to manage my trades of my original swing trade, okay, because I was in a position as it broke this consolidation over here. So what will happen would be if price breaks above this and it closes above this minor resistance, what I would consider would be letting go half my positions, closing partials per se. So kind of the same, but just the inverse way of adding positions. So basically this is just, this is how I do it.
Cool. And a couple of questions on this. So when you were exiting at 10 pips in profit, are you exiting 50% of the trade or a higher percentage?
So for me, I exit 50% of my positions. Yeah.
And
so for it's not just about the 10 pips. For me, my magical number is 50%. So whether it's regardless of adding positions and I secure 10 pips, or whether, like I said, this trade management, if it closes above this, signaling that it's broken this resistance over here and price might climb higher, I will also close 50% of my positions, whether I'm in profit or whether I'm in drawdown. Yeah.
And will you move your stop loss into profit at any point?
So basically over here, usually after I enter my second entry, which is a scalp entry, all right, like for example, in this trade over here, once I entered a short position over here per se, I would, and when price already starts breaking the low over here, because we had basically a low created over here. So once price breaks below the low, once I enter a position over here and price has managed to close below the low over here, I will move my original trade stop loss, which is a swing trade stop loss, intraday swing trade stop loss to break even. And then after that, as we go down, so when I took my second entry over here, correct, and then price was able to break the low over here, I would then move my stop loss from break even all the way down to the minor resistance that we've created on the second scalp trade. Yeah.
Okay, and the last question, the volume that you're using on the swing trade versus volume for the scalp trades, are they similar, the same, or different?
So basically for scalping, for my scalp trades, I have a rule that I don't go into any trades. Like if I don't have any trades running already, I don't go into any trades after Singapore time 12 midnight, because generally there's no volume there. However, if let's say, for example, I'm already in a trade prior to that, maybe I got on maybe in the New York Stock Exchange or stuff like that, which is about 8:30, 9:30 Singapore time, then I would then manage my trades and then I would look to enter trades based on that. But if not, if I don't have any trades running, I will not enter any trades for scalps when there's no volume, because it's a very simple question of why would you want to get into a trade when there's no volume? Because when there's no volume, what price tends to do is that it often just consolidates, and there's no reason for me to just stick around in consolidation, because you can find trades almost every day. So I rather just come back tomorrow when, let's say, for example, the earlier session that I wake up for is London, Singapore time. So basically, I would rather come back then and make use of the volume over there. Yeah.
Okay, and sorry, what I meant by volume was, would you use the same lot size or percentage of your account for the swing trade as you would for the scalping trades?
Yeah, basically, I all my trades are just calculated based off 3% of my capital.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, and because the stop losses are different, then yeah, the volume, the lot sizes will differ from there. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, look, guys, that's absolutely superb. That's probably one of the best chart breakdowns I've seen in a long time. So thank you very much for that, Jerome, and Camille for coming on the show. Guys, do remember we shot a podcast just before this with both of them break down their full-on trading. So you've got to go and check that out. Links underneath the video. But before we get there, guys, what's the best way for the folks to get more about you?
You can follow Radical Forex on Instagram and Radical Forex. My personal Instagram is Morris and Malice. And
my personal Instagram would be camille.bma.
Cool, brilliant. Well, look, guys, thanks again for coming on the show. Guys, we have got links to all of their Instagrams and stuff underneath this video here if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're on the page, then great. It's tradingnut.com. Guys, do remember to subscribe to the channel. Click the like button on this video and also click the little notifications bell and all if you haven't already done it so you can get notified of videos like this coming up in the future.